all. So we are going to be thinking here about adding mixed numbers. And this time there's this new concept of regrouping. So sometimes what you'll see when you have a fraction, like let's say you have 3 and maybe 5/3. We sort of have this situation here where we have a mixed number and also an improper fraction, right? So we are going to remedy this to sort of simplify it, if you will. So we're going to kind of regroup this fraction. So when we break it apart, what you can notice is that we end up, if we just look at the whole number, we still have just 3, right? If we just look at the fraction here, we have 5/3. And when we use what we know about converting a improper to a mixed number, we're going to end up with how many threes can we pull out of 5? Sorry, how many threes can we pull out of 5? 1, with 2 left over out of 3. So if we put these together, if we add 5/3 plus 3, or in other words, we add 3 and we add 5/3 as a mixed number, right? 1 and 2/3, we're going to end up with 4 and 2/3. So this phenomenon here of starting with a mixed slash improper situation can be remedied with just some regrouping, right? So you can kind of convert it into a true mixed number. And a time where you might run into this is when you are adding mixed numbers and you end up in breaking up, working with your fractions first and then adding your whole numbers, right? You might end up with a top-heavy fraction that you need to add to your whole number. So let's practice. So let's say we're starting here. We want to add 2 and 3/4 plus 1.5. So first things first, what we notice is we need to find a common denominator. So our whole numbers stay the same. I'm just going to bring them over. And our new denominator, if we count by 2s and we count by 4s, we'll see 4 is the first number that they share, the first multiple that they share. So what did you do to this 4 to turn it into a 4? Well, you just multiplied it by 1, essentially. Diva brought her 1 outfit. What did you do to this 2 to turn it into a 4? Well, you used the diva of 2. 2 times 2 is 4, legal to do, so long as whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So now we multiply here and we end up with 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Now, though, we have a common denominator. So when we add, right, we now have a common denominator, so we can add our numerators of our fractions. We end up with 5/4, and we end up with 2 plus 1 is 3. And here we have that situation, right, where we need to regroup in order to simplify, if you will. So we take our whole number, 3. We convert our fraction into a mixed number. How many 4s can you pull out of 5? 1, with 1 left over out of 4. And when we put them together, we end up with 4 and 1/4. I ran into my picture here. 4 and 1/4. Let's move it. I'm moving. 4 and 1/4. Woohoo! So you're adding mixed numbers, and the regrouping part here doesn't happen in the sort of process of solving. It happens in the simplifying at the end.